Hi, my name is Kevin Fernandez and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to play the chilling, mysterious game, Mysterium. This 2 to 7 player game designed by Alexander Nevsky and Oleg Sidorenko and published by Libellud Games. There has been a murder committed. A very rich millionaire has been killed. And his killer is still on the loose, but he is starting to contact us from the other side. So the villagers contact a group of psychics to discover how his murder was committed by finding clues to the killer, where he was killed, and the weapon. Will we be able to solve the mystery and let his body rest at peace? Or will we screw it up and have him forever haunt us in our dreams? Find out as we go to the table and learn to play Mysterium. Choose the difficulty level for the game. This determines the number of character, location, and object cards that will be used. Choose from the difficulty levels easy, medium, and hard to determine how many cards need to be placed on the table based on the number of players. For example, in our 2-player game, we need 1 ghost and 4 psychics at easy difficulty level. The players draw 4 character psychic cards. For more on this, go to page 8 in your rulebook. Look through the character ghost cards and select those whose numbers match the drawn character psychic cards past the character ghost cards to the ghost. Set up the character psychic cards in the play area. For example, Jordan has drawn the cards 3, 16, 8, 15, 30, 23, 24, 32, 35, 40, 54, 42, and 52. After sorting her cards, she passes the character ghost cards numbered the same numbers to the ghost. The ghost shuffles the received cards and draws as many cards as there are psychics in the game. The ghost then places these cards in the character spaces inside the game screen, in the columns representing the colors of the various psychics. Put the remaining cards back in the box without looking at them. For example, Dave, as the ghost, receives 7 cards and shuffles them. He draws the first card numbered 16 and places it in the game screen in Kevin's column. My columns are on the outside, so we're going to use Jordan's as an example. He then repeats the operation for the other psychics. Repeat steps 1, 2, and 3 for the location cards and then the object cards during the setup phase. The ghost generates a combination of 3 cards, i.e. character, location, and object for each psychic. And that completes the setup. The game is played in 2 phases. Phase 1, the reconstruction of events. This phase lasts a maximum of 7 turns, represented as hours on the clock right here. Phase 2, revealing the culprit. This phase takes place if all psychics successfully complete the reconstruction phase before the end of the 7th game turn. During the reconstruction phase, the psychics attempt to identify which characters are prime suspects, determine where the file deed may have been committed, and established what objects might have served as the murder weapon. To visually represent the progress achieved by the psychics during the investigation, each psychic will move their intuition tokens along the progress board. During the reconstruction phase, The psychics attempt to identify which characters are prime suspects, determine where the foul deed might have been committed, and established what objects might have served as the murder weapon, to visually represent the progress achieved by the psychics during their investigation. Each psychic will move their intuition token along the progress track. Each investigation is conducted in a particular order. The psychics must first identify their suspect before attempting to discover their location, and finally, their object. The reconstruction of events takes place in 2 steps. Step 1, vision interpretation. Step 2, spectral manifestation. During the first turn, each psychic intuition token is placed on the character progress board. It's off camera, so you guys might not be able to see it, but it's usually down below the suspect section here. This means that the ghost task is to help the psychics guess the character card assigned to them based behind the game screen. He does this by projecting a vision to each psychic consisting of 1 or more vision cards. Choose a psychic and place 1 or more vision cards face up in front of them. Push the ghost token matching the psychic's color against the game screen. This reminds the ghost that he has already given a vision card to that psychic and cannot give them or him or her any more cards during the current turn. Draw vision cards to make up your hand to 7 cards. If the vision cards draw pile is empty, the ghost shuffles the vision cards discard pile to form a new draw pile. Picks another psychic and repeats the same procedure until all psychics have received at least 1 vision card. Upon receiving a vision, each psychic attempts to interpret it and discover the character, location, and object to which it refers, depending on which progress board their intuition token is currently on. To this end, psychics may freely examine their vision cards and psychic cards and discuss a hypothesis with other psychics. When the ghost has projected visions to all psychics, he starts the sand timer. Each psychic must place their intuition token on the psychic card which they believe the ghost is guiding them to. So that would be these cards right here. Before the sand timer runs out, other psychics may help with the decision making by analyzing cards and giving their opinions. Psychics may change the position of their intuition tokens at any time until the sand timer expires. Note: several psychics may place their intuition token on the same psychic card. However, each psychic has to find a unique combination consisting of a character, a location, and an object. The intuition of at least one of the psychics must be wrong. Important: although the ghost may listen to discussion between psychics, he should never make comments or gestures that could serve as clues, as this would disrupt the gameplay experience. So, for example, you can't make any noises like, well, I'm going to put, so I could say I'm going to move him right here, and the ghost can't go, okay, well, I'm going to go here, well, maybe here, here, yeah. You can't do that. At the start of the game, the ghost collects the number of crow markers corresponding to the chosen difficulty level. Look at the chart in page 8 for full details. At any point in the game, including during the revealing the culprit phase, the ghost may discard any or all of his vision cards and draw a new hand to make up the old hand of 7 cards. Subject to the limit of the number of such discarded operations are determined by the difficulty level. At an easy difficulty level, the ghost may discard his cards once per turn, in which case he places a crow on the game screen, removing it at the end of the turn. At medium difficulty level, the ghost may discard his cards up to 3 times during the game, each time placing a crow on the game screen. At hard difficulty level, the ghost may discard his cards once during the game, placing a crow on the game screen. Players may add clairvoyancy tokens to the intuition tokens played by other psychics at any time until the sand timer expires. When played successfully, these tokens enable psychics to progress on the clairvoyancy track, potentially unlocking extra clues when attempting to identify the culprit in the final phase of the game. So that looks like this. If you think a character is right, you each have an even number. So if you think a psychic is right, you put a check mark there. If you think they're wrong, you place a little X. And that's just how it would go. There are 2 types of clairvoyancy tokens, bearing the green check mark, like this one, and the red X symbol, indicating the opposite. Green means you're right, red means they're wrong. A psychic may not play more than 1 clairvoyancy token per intuition token, or add a clairvoyancy token to their own intuition token. A psychic may play as many clairvoyancy tokens as they want during a turn, but is not obliged to use any at all. As multiple intuition tokens may be placed on the same psychic, each clairvoyancy token should clearly point to the token with which it is associated with. Players may move or remove clairvoyancy tokens at any time until the sand timer expires. Important: after use, all clairvoyancy tokens, check marks, and X's must be discarded to the designated space on the clock board. They will be retrieved at the start of the 4th game turn when the sand timer runs out. During the spectral manifestation step, the ghost manifests itself to let the psychics know whether they have correctly interpreted their visions. The ghost may reveal this information in any order he pleases. He informs each psychic that his intuition was correct if the psychic's token was placed on the right card or incorrect. If the token was not placed on the correct card after manifesting the psychics, the ghost moves the token of the corresponding color away from the green screen. The ghost flips the corresponding ghost card in the same screen. Any psychics who played a green checkmark clairvoyancy token move their markers forward 1 space. On the track, the psychics discard all their vision cards, and lastly, the psychics collect their intuition token and place it on the next progress board. Any psychics who played a red X clairvoyancy token move their marker forward 1 space on the clairvoyancy track. The psychic turns their intuition token to the same progress board from which it was taken. The psychic retains their vision cards from in front of them. In each subsequent turn, the ghost will provide 1 or more vision cards. In each subsequent form which it was in each subsequent turn. The ghost will provide one or more additional card to enhance the vision until either the correct psychic is picked or the game ends. When the psychic has successfully identified their combination of psychic cards, they place their intuition token on the mission accomplished space on the epilogue board, which would be right here. On the clairvoyancy track, they move their marker forward one space for each hour remaining on the clock. Thereafter, they continue to take part by helping the other psychics to interpret their visions, and may still play any remaining clairvoyancy tokens. For example, Paul discovers his combination during the 4th hour and therefore moves his marker for 3 spaces on the clairvoyancy track. At the end of this step, move the hour hand forward 1 hour on the clock. If one or more psychics have not yet identified their character, location, and object, a new reconstruction of events phase begins. If the clock was already showing the 7th hour of the game, which would be right here, all the players lose. If all the psychics has successfully identified their character, location, and object combinations, move to the final phase of the game, revealing the culprit. Note, at the end of the game, the psychic's intuition tokens may be located on different progress boards. The revealing the culprit phase only takes place if all the psychics have successfully identified their character, location, and object combination before the clock strikes 8. Culprit's identity is revealed in 3 steps. Step 1, suspect lineup. Step 2, shared vision. And step 3, straw poll. During the suspect lineup step, the psychics arrange their combination of cards into groups in order to compare the suspects and enable the ghost to identify the culprit. Collect any psychic cards that were not placed in sleeves and put them back in the game box, together with the character, location, and object progress boards, which are these right here, if you guys don't know what those look like. Place 1 ghost token per psychic in the center of the table, number side up. That's what these look like. For example, in our 2-player game with 4 psychics, 4 groups of cards are required, and the psychics therefore lay out the ghost tokens numbered 1 to 4. Place the unused tokens in the box. The psychics remove their combinations of 3 cards from their sleeves and associate them with the numbered tokens. Several groups of cards are thus formed at the center of the table, each containing 1 suspect, 1 location, and 1 object. The ghost collects 6 culprit tokens and keeps them behind the game screen. The psychics collect all their clairvoyancy tokens. During the shared vision step, the ghost attempts to guide the psychic towards the group of cards in the middle of the table that contains the culprit. To this end, the ghost picks 3 vision cards from his hand. These cards form a shared vision and must all point the same group. One of the 3 cards must point to the character in the target group, another points to the location, and the final card to the object. The ghost then shuffles the shared vision cards and places them face down in the middle of the table. The group is designated as the culprits group. The ghost secretly collects the culprit token with the number matching that group and places it face down in the culprit space of the epilogue board. During the straw poll, the psychics hold the majority vote to designate the group containing the suspected culprit. The ghost must not indicate which card in the shared vision relates to which element of the combination. The true culprit is revealed at the end of this step. The psychics vote in secret and must not communicate with each other during the voting procedure. Psychics vote at different times depending on their clairvoyancy level, as determined by the positions of their clairvoyancy level markers on the clairvoyancy track right here. Psychics with low clairvoyancy level will see only one card from the shared vision before voting to identify the culprit's group. Psychics with an intermediate clairvoyancy level will see two cards from here. And psychics with a high one will get to see all three cards. For more on this, look at page 7 in your rule book. Put it differently, the farther the psychic has progressed along the clairvoyancy track, the more clues they will see when the psychics have to identify the group that contains the true culprit. Psychics vote using the numbered side of their clairvoyancy tokens. So that would be like this and this. Each psychic takes the token bearing the number of the group they think contains the culprit and slides it into their sleeve. When all psychics have voted, the votes are revealed. So, let's say someone thinks it's 3, another person thinks it's 3, and then another person thinks it's 2, and then one person believes it's 1. 3 would be our winner. Pass all the sleeves to the psychic with the highest score on the clairvoyancy track. In the event of a tie, the eldest of the tied players gets to be that person. This player reveals each clairvoyancy token in turn, placing it on the card group matching the number on the ghost token. When all tokens have been placed, proceed as follows. If one of the groups has received more votes than the others, it is chosen as the suspected culprit group. If no single group has a clear majority, the tie is broken in favor of the group chosen by the player who progressed the farthest along the clairvoyancy track. That group is considered to represent the psychic's verdict on the culprit. If a tie persists, it is broken in favor of the group for which the eldest player voted. Now reveal the culprit token placed on the culprit space. If the group chosen by the psychics contains the true culprit, all players win the game. Yay! And the ghost spirit has laid to rest. Otherwise, the game is lost and the players must wait until Samhain comes around again before reattempting to solve the mystery of the mana. You can play Mysterium with 2 or 3 players by adjusting a few rules. So number 1, the clairvoyancy track, the related markers, and the clairvoyancy token are not used. Number 2, each player plays with 2 psychics, which is what we'll do in our gameplay video because we will only be having 2 players. And during the shared vision, the 3 vision cards are placed face up. There's no clairvoyancy track involved. Step 1, the suspect lineup. Randomly create 2 additional groups of cards with a character, a location, and an object in each group. Use psychic cards discarded during the game, bringing the total number of groups to 4. Then place the tokens numbered 1 through 4 by the 4 groups thus formed. Place the tokens numbered from 1 to 4 by the 4 group cards. The player who plays the 2 psychics use only one of their intuition tokens to designate the suspected culprit. Psychics vote openly rather than in secret. The 2 players with the role of psychics must agree which group to identify as the suspected culprit's group and place their 2 intuition tokens on it. And that's all you need to know to play Mysterium. If you have any questions about this game, please put it in the comments below. And if you really enjoy Gamers Genie as a whole, please take a look at our Patreon page. I'll leave a link in the description below for that, so you can just click on it and check it out. If you have any little tips and stuff about how we can make our Patreon page a little more interesting, please leave those in the comments below as well. And be on the lookout for our gameplay video of Mysterium. But until then, thanks for the views.